Notice how when I opened up the Darren piece, that Yoda popped right up and the sound came right up with him. One of the things that allows the author to make those things happen so simply is to simply come in here and say, well, when it wakes up, when I first open this, I would really like it to be split screen like this. I'd like it to look like this. And I would like the main text. Oh, no problem. Yeah. Let's see if I can. Let me check something else. It was somewhat fussy prototype running on a definitely fussy machine. Let's go to main. Huh. Yeah, thank you. Well, I've got some kind of a problem with the screen. I'm sorry, but the way this works is I can adjust. I can ask for what main text I would like to be placed in which screen. So, for example, coming back here, the main text is like so. So if this was functional right now, this would allow me to look at all the choices that are available for what I could put in there, all the different representations. And by leaving it as such and hitting the button, then that becomes the script. That's the default. Or I can say, no, 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 no. I would really like this to have both this and a reference up. So I could pick to come down to, again, like this mode, and then select what text I'd like it to wake up in here, and then look at images. Yeah, this whole screen's dead. And sounds. So this is how easy it would be, if it was working right now, for me to put what text I want where, what picture I want where, what sound I want where, and just hit a button. And whenever the learner now opens this on the other end, the interface will situate up to this, throw those pictures up, do those sounds, do those activities. So this is a scripting process for those that are familiar with scripting processes that nobody needs to know any script language for. They just say, I want this window, I want this in it, I want this picture, I want this sound. And there's a similar process that we can't get into right now, which deals with how we want to set up challenges or quizzes or games or other things that we could insert into the process that would cycle people back to different points. Let's go back to here. The authoring system also allows for the easy integration of a number of different types of external applications and stacks and what have you. So for example, if I said, oh, let's come over here first. Let's go to scientific laws or structure. If I wanted it to launch an application, I hit the launch window and have it, and then just go travel around my computer. Applications, Excel, Microsoft Excel, so select that. All right. Now, when I run this on the interface, under that, when I got to the interface, when I go to the scientific version of this, there would be an option now that would be live. It would come up as a consequence of this, which would be an external launch. And when I launched it, Excel would fire. And that's how easy it was for the author to tell how to relate different resources to the learner in context in the system. Let me show you the referencing process. And then I guess I got to quit. Hitting a button, this reference tool palette pops up. It says, I don't have anything for it right now. As an author, I say, well, I want that word in the index. And I'd like the system to gather me the dictionary information on that and encyclopedia. And real quick, while I'm here, I'll make an author's note. So I type in the author's note, whatever that might be, and save it. And notice it switched status to in. So now that's all that's necessary. It's all done. The author doesn't know anything about the structure, anything about the publishing system, anything about the transmission. That's it. It's over. On the other end, when the learner pops up on that, the icon will fire that an author notes was available, and they hit that, and they'll just get what I just typed. So there's this ratcheting transceiver system occurring at this meaning level, right? Now, as to the two things I checked, that's a more elaborate process. What that does is drive a process of the gross course importation of reference materials from various reference libraries and allow the author and editor to select which ones they want, which then fall into the final stage of referencing in the authoring tool. But the point is to allow the author to make those kind of articulations, what they want to make references about. However, and this is a real key point, the way that the authoring system functions is that it also has a level in it called vocabulary threshold detection, which means that if when I'm all done with writing this module, writing the components of this, the material in here gets screened against what we consider to be a safe word list for the competency level of who's going to read it. So, for example, in today's language, to use today's language with some caveats, if we were going to produce something that we expected was equivalent to some kind of 5th grade level of vocabulary, then we would take a 3rd grade minimum reading proficiency list and filter everything in this against it. And it will then distill out a vocabulary list of things that are potentially unsafe. That will drive the course importation of references, which then become part of what we call the safety net underneath the learner, the reference level. So we've both got the ability for what the author would like to have expanded, and the system also provides a way to semi-automate the process of correlating and gathering references to provide this vocabulary safety net under. And this answers the question of whether or not we've only got a couple of words covered. Our idea is to cover everything, because if the learner doesn't feel at any given time while they're moving through here that whatever they encounter is an opportunity for them to follow through with their uncertainty or curiosity, then we're back to square one. We're back to our system being something that teaches them not to pay attention to that, and that's not what we're here for. Right? Layers of imaging in what sense? Yes, okay. I mean, can there be hot points in images that relate to other images? Yes, yes. That's just one more subset of functionality within this general system of mediating what we've been describing, yeah. There's no reason to think that anything that you've seen from a computer multimedia point of view can't be used, but as a resource to this kind of a relationship. Now, the next question is, depending on how much power consumption is associated with doing things in that particular way, we want that to be something that's callable by the system, but not a requirement for the system as a whole to function such that we can run this thing on machines that will take full advantage of whatever's available in a high-powered atmosphere, but still provide these basic dexterities in $100 and $200, ultimately television set built-in kind of ways. There's a lot more stuff, but we don't have the time. So, I mean, there's a lot of other technologies. There's a lot of other, but we don't have the time. So I think I'll.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
I think we should all stand up.
Yeah. And we will have some time for questions. And I don't want, Marsh, is anybody leaving now? Because I do want to introduce, are you leaving, Marsh? I want Marsh to introduce, a little late here, but